Oh, we should have gotten the clip.
I forgot about Luds doing that. I forgot about that.
Oh, how do we forget about that? Our producer with a great drop. This is pre-recorded, so if you're watching this at 6:15 p.m. on Thursday, November 6th, we are hopefully still doing well and alive, but we can't do the super chats today or the interactive stuff because we are, if you're watching this being broadcast, over at PNC Plaza for the PNC Bank big event with the barbershop, the mullet hats, all the above. Come say hi if you see this. We'd love to meet you, or say hi if you've already met with us before. But we still have a pregame show. Sam is in studio because we're early. So Luds is here. Let's get it going. This is the DLLS Stars Pregame Show on Thursday, November 6th. We welcome you inside the lounge studios. Craig Ludwig, Sam Nessler, producer Ryan Vaughters. I'm Owen Newkirk. Thank you very much for joining us tonight as the Stars play the Anaheim Ducks. Before we get into it, let us talk about merchandise. And no, it's not Luds' read yet. We'll get to that. Look at those shirts. Fantastic. The new Face-Off collection. Hockey shirts for the start of hockey season. And they've been selling very well. Again, our GM has been seriously silent on the matter because I think you guys stepped up and bought enough shirts for us to not only get them, but to then drain a fairly large amount of Lud's pocket money. You ever watch Coming to America, Sam? Eddie Murphy movie?
Long time ago, yeah.
Pocket money, remember?
Yep.
And it's a stack of cash about this big. Anyway, we'll get to that. AllDLS.com. Check that out. Get those shirts. They look great. All right, let's talk about tonight's game. Now, because we are pre-recording this, we do not have the benefit of Sam being live at American Airlines Center to then radio back, or in this case, use Twitter and text messages to let us know what the lines are going to be, which we generally do not know. We have some thoughts. So we're going to start with that because Sam, morning skate, lineup news, and injury updates. Ryan, go ahead and pop that on the screen. Sam, walk us through what's happened this morning.
Yeah, so no surprise, a lot of injuries still around in this team. I'll start with who's not playing, which is, as we know, Matt Duchene, who has not skated in about 2 weeks with the group, dealing with that injury after the hit
and
in
continues
the home opener.
To not skate.
Continues to not skate. Rope Hintz was at practice yesterday at Farmers Branch and skated again this morning. He is a game time decision. He obviously has not played since taking that hit against Taylor Hall on what team?
Carolina.
Carolina, thank you.
Do you remember when?
No.
October 25th. He's missed 5 games. Now,
so 5 games.
If Luds grabbed you with, let's say, at least 2 functioning fingers,
okay,
because there's a size disparity. He doesn't need to take 2 hands and shove you against the wall. But let's say he's using 2 functioning fingers to hold you up against the brick wall over here. Is Rope Hintz playing tonight based on what you saw today?
Yes. And I think it because it's harder with an optional skate as well because there wasn't a ton of people that were out there. But usually the players skating late is usually a good sign. So Jake Oettinger is going to start tonight. Casey Smith was out there late. Jamie Benn was spotted for the first time since his surgery skating with the group today at the optional skate. He was out there late along with...
You tweeted a video about it.
Yes.
Go to at Sam Nessler. Watch the video of Jamie doing some drills after practice.
Yep. He was working late with Kyle Capobianco and Nathan Bastian as well as Casey Smith. So if I'm using my investigative skills from following this team, usually that would mean that both Bastian and Capobianco would be the scratches, and Radek Faksa, who missed the last game with what they're calling an illness and didn't practice yesterday, as well as Rope Hintz, are the game time decisions. I would guess that they are in.
It was an optional today. Did Faksa go out on the ice?
Faksa was on the ice.
So you saw both Faksa and
They're
Hintz.
both there, yep.
And again, it's just a drill after a morning skate. But what did you think of Jamie Benn, how he looked?
I'll say he was working very hard. There was no just kind of skating around doing things. He was doing full speed drills. The training staff had their laptops out tracking his heart rate and some other things. But as we know, as soon as he was ready to skate, the ramp up was going to be pretty quick. So I think there's no timeline. Glenn Gulletson said they didn't give us any sort of timeline, but him back with the group is a good sign. And now we'll see when he first joins the team for
Okay, practice. Pop that forward group back up. Here's the debate we had. Sam and I were texting back and forth, sort of thinking about some things. One possibility, if both Fox and Hintz play, if they don't play, not only did Gully say they could go back to 11 versus 7, but Capobianco could be in, Bastian could be in, and they could still be at 11 and 7 like they were the other night. But if Hintz is good and you go back to top line with Rantanen and Robertson, does that mean you go back to Wyatt with Sagan and Bork because they played together a bit, Steele down the line, and Rick Scovian, we haven't really seen on the right, but they have an abundance of left shot wingers in the bottom 6 right now. Do you like the way this sets up, or is there another one you would prefer to do?
Well, I guess I would say without throwing someone under the bus, but I'm about to throw somebody under the bus.
You always do.
My favorite part. Oh, wait. What did Colin Blackwell do this time? I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Well, he hasn't done anything.
No.
Yeah, I wasn't
Sorry,
even,
Colin, that was not
I wasn't even going there because you're fine, Colin. I think I would pop that up again there, Ryan. I would probably take Sam Steele, who I think has been playing great. We thought he had one of his best games the other night. And that obviously playing up to Arena. But I could see where you just leave Wyatt in the middle on that second line. Take Tyler Seguin, put him over on his right-hand side, put Steele up on the left. So Mavericks got a goal and an assist in his last 10 games. And he's made a couple mistakes, and he's turned a couple pucks over. He's come back into his own zone, not moving his feet all the time. Maverick can play in the middle. I would just flip him and Steele around. Maybe Maverick can play in the middle of the ice there.
They have plenty of centers.
I actually wonder if that's one of the reasons why Bork hasn't been as good, because he's a natural center. He's played center. The AHL,
it's different.
He played in the middle.
Yeah.
But the Stars have, because of all their centers, have rarely – they basically said to the kid, hey, we've got Rope Hintz, Matt Duchene, Wyatt Johnston, Sam Steele. Then they bring Foxa back in. There's no room for you at center. Oscar Beck's a center.
Yep.
And there's no room for him generally at center.
Yeah, we didn't even see him. Did he even play center last year at all?
He
was on the wing all the time. So I don't know why we call him a centerman. He's big. He's not fast. He doesn't play east-west that much anyways. I think he's a good winger.
But do you think there's a chance that Maverick would have another gear in the middle because that's his natural position?
There's more responsibility, but there's also more freedom to kind of navigate through the ice. And he's not big. He skates well. He can handle the puck, and I think it gives him very similar to when Tyler played in the middle of the ice. Tyler can gravitate from one side of the ice to the other, and he uses his speed and his quickness, and he doesn't have to work on the wall. For a player that's not 6'2", you kind of get caught in the corners, and not that he's getting pinned in there and he doesn't compete. He does, but I think I would try him at center, I guess, and let's see if that helps him a little bit, because what he does do well for me all the time as a guy that's not huge, he goes to the front of the net.
Yeah.
He's not afraid to go in the front of the net. So when you're the centerman and you're coming through the middle of the ice and you get across the offensive blue line, you're either going to distribute it to your left or right unless there's something wide open in front of you. You do that and you continue to drive. And if you give it to the right winger, then the left winger comes on behind, and that's where that hole opens up, is you got center lane drive. I think that might be a good spot for him. But again, I'm sure those guys have sitting, especially at times like this, when you've got 4 or 5 guys out, they have so many different line combinations. Yeah. And let's be honest,
use them.
Even when they're healthy, there's a bunch of line combinations, which I think we're getting to the point. Well, not yet. We're not at the 30, 40 game mark, but I'm sure the coaching staff, there's a spot in mind where here's our line, because you're not going to go all year long with not knowing who guys are going to play with every single night. Because I think what we're seeing now is a really long-winded answer to just one simple question you asked me. But I think what we're seeing now is Hintz and Rantanen. I think that's good for Robo.
Yeah.
Robo's got to start scoring goals.
Yeah.
For himself and the team. They're not lighting it up 5-on-4.
Well, you know what? Let's go to that. Since it's like you teed me up without knowing.
He knew it.
So
I don't know
Ryan,
anything.
Let's play video number 2 of Glenn Gulletson talking about Jason Roberts.
Well, I'm optimistic about his game because he's getting a ton of chances, and even analytically, he's getting a lot of chances from prime areas. So our record is what it is, and then when they scoring isn't always linear, so when he does break out, he keeps getting those chances. Is inevitably going to happen, and when it does, it's going to help us a lot. So I'm excited about it. I'm not going to interfere, say anything. Goal scoring is a unique art, but when you're getting that many chances, things flip.
Kind of on that, his average shot distance this year is quite a bit closer than it has been in years past. Have you seen anything about his game differently that's changed?
No, and I didn't know that he's closer, but maybe we should just try to get him farther. No, I haven't. I've seen the same chances, and I've had chats with him, and he feels the same way. But it's just it's never always goes exactly like you hope it's going to go, right? And usually scores and they get streaky. Once they get one, then the floodgates start to open. You worry, it's the old Wayne Gretzky, right? It's the only way. As long as I'm getting chances, I'm not going to panic, right? And he's getting chances, so we're going to just stick with it.
So, Luds, I have some numbers for you because I know how you love charts. This is Jason Robertson's last 5 seasons. Now, I want to give credit to Stars radio host Michael Dixon, who not only asked that follow-up question we just played, but he also tweeted about the XG, expected goals per 60, and Robo's shooting percentage. So that kind of got me thinking. So I went and looked up his actual XG, which is cumulative for the whole season, and then his actual goals. And I think look, there's a lot of numbers here, but look at the last 2 columns on the right, okay? That means how many goals based on his shots, locations, and the way he played he is expected to have during the season, and then how many he actually scored. And each of the last 4 years, he outperformed his XG, which is good. That means he's scoring goals sometimes from, as Sam was talking to us off the recording there, from areas that are pretty low expected goals because he has a good shot. He can score from long range. What really stands out, though, is for this year, he has the highest expected goals per 60 of the last 5 years, 1.88. But look at his shooting percentage, 5.4%. It's not going in, but he's actually generating more chances.
I can remember 2 goals specifically of the 3. I can't remember all 3. 2 of them had traffic in front. There were scrambles going on. And I don't know to go back to all his goals, but
there's only 3 of them.
No, I meant when you're going
you mean
back,
the hundreds of goals?
Yeah. I think he needs some traffic, because they're not going in right now. And I would generally say you need to get close to the net and you got to get your own rebound. You got to bang in and get a couple ugly goals. But he's finding ways to get shots. And so, some of that is a responsibility, whoever the 2 other wingers are, centerman and winger, for him to be able to get into that area. But I think it's for a pure natural goal scorer, which he is, he will find ways to score goals. As long as the good news is he's getting 4, 5, 6 shots sometimes. Now,
look what he did in the shootout the other night. That's
but
still there.
But some of those shots are coming from out tops of the circles at times. We're seeing, which is good because I think he's getting pucks to the net. But I know early on this year when he had an intent to get pucks to the net, some of those weren't in the high danger area, but he was getting them to the net. And I'm like, good, you're shooting. So I think he has the right intentions to get the shots, but he may need, just like I talk about Sagan all the time, over the years, when Tyler went through a little bit of drought and he'd start drifting a little wider and wider, especially when he was over there on the power play. Get one to go off your ass. Get one to go off your skate. Get that ugly one, because then that's just kind of what starts their
Pop that up real quick once again to answer or to respond to that, Les. I'm not married to expected goals and all the analytics, but one thing it does suggest is it kind of is percentages based on shots and circumstances. It's expected goals for Jason Robertson he is generating scoring chances, and right now, based on where he's getting his shots for the course of the year, he should have between 8 and 9 goals, and he only has 3. So he's not scoring at the rate, but as I said before, he's still generating over a course of a hockey game plenty of decent scoring chances. And, I keep tracking him. We talk about it. You guys make fun of me for all the numbers and stuff. That's fair. But he's one of the guys. It's Wyatt, it's Robo, it's Rantanen, Miro, Harley occasionally, Sagan when Duchesne was healthy. Rope hands, those are the guys, Luds, that are generating the scoring chances on a nightly basis.
Start with the first 2 that you started with. Who were the first 2 you mentioned?
I think I said
Wyatt
and Rantanen.
they're out there sometimes every other shift.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're out there a lot. Start giving Robo.
And he's played.
And play him with different people, but
Interesting.
start getting him into where, because those three guys can double shift, and then you can eventually get them back together when he wants. But I think if you want to get your natural goal scorer going, confidence-wise and everything else, give him some more opportunity. At times when there's offensive zone faceoffs, and say you've got your third line out there, pull your left winger off and put Robo out there. Put him out there that maybe he creates a chance or somebody gets the puck there, but put him in those positions that he can get his confidence.
And he is playing a lot. He's averaging 21.04. Wyatt's averaging 21.43. Mikko 21.41. Those are the three guys forward-wise that are playing the most. Even Rope, who's missed some games, has only played 19 minutes.
Play him more. Game. Get him out. I'm not saying he's got to start in offense or defensive zone faceoffs. He doesn't have to start in the neutral zone. There's plenty of times there's offensive zone faceoffs that you could pull one of your third or fourth line players off. Robo, take so-and-so, go out there. We start coming back to our end, doesn't work out. Get off, change on the way up the ice because you're going back out there with those two guys, with Hintz, Brandt, whoever it may be. You're coming right back out. But put him in positions that he can get in his confidence.
Interesting
He's
conversation.
His stick
you want him to
down.
change his stick?
That's probably the problem.
It's the wrong way,
He's got his
Sam.
stick the wrong way.
Flip it around, maybe
You
you'll
think
score a
that
goal.
Maybe that'll help him
may be
score.
a problem.
If
Let's
that
help
works
him.
tonight,
Give me credit.
help
everyone.
him out. All right, up next, lots more. We'll talk about the Ducks. We'll talk about the Stars. We'll talk about Ducks and Stars. Here in the Stars DLLS pregame show.
Yeah.
Well, let's pull up the our collection, our special collection. Here it is, the DLLS Face-Off collection. We've got our Dallas hockey shirt and our black Dallas shirt. I don't know how long. How long are we doing? Are we going to do this? Are we running out of time promoting this whole thing, or?
No, Luds, you got 45 more seconds.
No, I don't mean now. I meant in general. I mean, are we doing? Ryan, you're not giving me any kind of an answer over there. Anyway, go and we'll continue with the same old story.
You can show some other t-shirts if Ryan has them.
I would like to see the finisher. Can we get the do we have a model for the finisher by any chance? Do we have anybody modeling the Finnish Mafia shirt?
The Finnish Mafia, we do. We'll get to that.
Oh, we're not going to get to it now?
No, we're not.
Oh, we're going to get to it on Owen's time. This would be the perfect time to pull it up. But let's get to it.
On
Here's the finisher shirt. We don't have the Mafia up there. And, well, there it is. There's the Finnish Mafia. But we don't have our model up there with us right now, do we? So I guess we'll just revisit that when Owen wants to get up there, because this wouldn't be the proper time to do it.
It wouldn't be.
Okay. There we go.
Good job.
Well, that's good. Then my time's up.
Go to alldls.com and you can.
That's the way you button it up.
You can buy plenty of that
Done.
stuff. Luds.
Yo, Sam.
Things don't happen overnight, right? To become a good player, you need long-term practice. To get good hockey hair, maybe even a mullet, you need long-term growth. For successful banking, you also need long-term growth. PNC Bank gets you there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I see Maine freedom.
Well, that's because today.
Well, that is
right
today,
after we finish
tonight?
recording this.
Well, we're going
to be over. We're not even live right now because we're going to be over at the at PNC Plaza, hanging out with the crew while they get their haircuts or their free, no purchase necessary mullet
while supplies last
hats while supplies last. So pick up your free Dallas Stars hockey hair hat pregame at PNC Plaza. Compliments of PNC Bank. November 4th it already happened, or tonight, November 6th, at PNC's pop-up Main Street branch. No purchase necessary, one per person while supplies last. 2025, the PNC Financial Services Group Incorporated, PNC Bank, an official partner of the Dallas Stars.
I like that you
I
said
do
the
want to
fourth,
say
too.
Those are great hats.
And if you've been on the fourth,
you can detach the hair.
You can
part
take
of it.
you can just rock a regular hat.
Great hat.
Well,
I'll be wearing this
Lud,
over there.
speaking of great hair, it's time for the PNC Bank mullet report. And you're going to want to pay attention to this one.
Why?
Because
I don't pay attention to anything.
Craig Ludwig.
Today, our pick for our favorite hockey hair from around the NHL is from Craig Ludwig himself.
Ooh.
It's
Oh,
Mr.
Dukes.
Ron Duguay. Luds, talk about legendary hair playing for a legendary franchise.
And let me tell you, he still has a legendary life off the ice too. I mean, Dukes, he's a stud. He is. He's a great guy. He's come here with us a couple times and played in our charity events, but he did have the do going on. And back in the garden there was some very important people that were sitting right along the glass in those days. So, and he's still the dude, man.
Well, don't forget, as Sam said, pick up your free Dallas Stars hockey hair hat pregame tonight at PNC Plaza. Compliments of PNC Bank. We will be there for the pop-up Main Street branch. No purchase necessary, one per person, while supplies last. We're going to be out there about 5:45, 6 o'clock Central Time, right up till the start of the game. Copyright 2025, the PNC Financial Services Group Incorporated, PNC Bank, an official partner of the Dallas Stars. Now,
November 4th and 6th.
I have a story about November 4th.
I can't wait.
For you guys.
Can't
I didn't tell you because I wanted to be this to be a surprise. So last night, doing a bunch of stuff around the house, we had dinner. I sat down on the couch. Finally, it's a day off. I've been doing all sorts of stuff in the yard. It just wiped out. And I open up Twitter. We had the Blues game on. Wasn't very exciting. Blues were awful. But we had
done.
But we saw. Well, it was what Ovi's 900th goal.
Yeah,
saw Ovi do that. That was pretty cool. I'm glad it wasn't an empty netter. And I see I have a Twitter DM, so I open it. No, it's not there. It's in the message request. Somebody that I haven't connected with before. It's from somebody named Brock. So I'd like to read it to you guys. Had a pretty incredible experience last night. He's talking about Tuesday after the game and just thought I'd share. And by the way, Brock messaged me. I messaged him back. He gave me approval to read this story. Ended up at Moxie's in Uptown with a couple of buddies, and there were reserved tables. Turns out the entire Oilers team was about to show up as they don't play again till Sunday, which parenthetically, we also knew they were not traveling Tuesday night. They were staying over. Well, apparently they went to Moxie's. We sat and watched as Draisaitl, Nugent Hopkins, etc. walked in. We did get a pic with McDavid with our PNC hockey hair. He was kind to do a 4-jerseyed Stars fans, or with 4 Stars fans. By the way, Connor McDavid's 6'1".
Yeah, there's some big dudes.
These dudes dwarf them. And so I wrote that later. I'm not quite done with the story.
He looks happy to be there.
Oh, he's the best in pictures. He
The fact
never
that
looks
he did
happy.
it is great. You can tell he didn't win a hockey game. I said, you guys tower over him. He goes, yeah, that's been the reaction. Unfortunately, we're all Lud's wastes of height. We all sit at a desk for a living, which I thought was a great line. So anyway, it keeps going. Point of this, though, is what happens later. Eventually, a couple Stars show up sitting in a different part of the bar, including Wyatt and Harley. They gave us waves, but we didn't want to bother them. A few minutes later, Gully walks in. He spends some time talking to Oilers assistant coaches, some media folks, and walks by our table. We say, quote, "Great game, coach." He turns to us and proceeds to spend about 3 minutes conducting a post-game presser at our table. If he didn't enjoy it, he is an incredible actor. I felt like Sam, this is what he wrote, I felt like Sam when I asked something along the lines of, quote, "What did you think being down 2-0 going into the first intermission?" It really felt like we had the better of the chances in the first period. Robo and Moose. To which he responded, I completely agree, but they have some pretty special players over there, with a little wink and direct point to the Edmonton tables. Just thought it was a fun story. He was clearly pleased to beat his old team, but was cool to see him interacting with his old squad. Happy we landed him and feel like he's done a great job with his limited roster. Then Brock said, anyways, daily podcast listener, love the show, sent some super chats during the playoffs last year, but I'm not awake late enough for live shows during the regular season. Continue the
Fair
good
enough.
work.
So is
How
that
about
normal?
that?
Is that normal that players go
Well,
to
thank you,
Moxie's?
folks, for tuning in. That will be our show for this evening.
Is that
for this
normal that
afternoon.
players do that?
That all they had
Go
to
to
say?
Moxie's?
That's it?
There's a few more, but I thought that was the gist of it. But they really love the show, and Brock, really cool to share that. And I know our friends at PNC Bank have to love the pictures with
McDavid.
Connor McDavid and the mullet hat. I mean, how cool is
That's
that?
hilarious.
Okay.
I gave my my guy I coach with, Adam. I don't know if you guys, I don't know if you know. I gave Addy the mullet hat too.
Oh,
Did he
yeah.
like it?
He actually was kind of proud to put it on. I know he took it home to his gal and he was going to wear it.
Well, now we're going to go to Sam, and that's
I thought
right.
we were going to go to Addy.
It's
Okay.
when it's when it's convenient for the show. Sam was at Farmers Branch for practice yesterday, which is what they do. They go to the different Star Centers
Yeah.
usually once a year.
Checked out your alumni room.
And what did you discover there?
Oh, there
there's
it is.
Addy. See, Addy actually.
Oh, there he is.
That-
It looks
Ad-
like it's his hair.
He looked like he belongs in that.
Yeah,
It
it does
does,
look
yeah.
like it
He
fits.
does. It
It's
looks like it fits.
And of course, for people that don't know, that is Addy's the head coach of the U18 travel team that Luds is the assistant coach on. Although there's some debate about who's actually pulling the strings. I'm just getting Luds in trouble with that.
Yeah.
Okay, Sam.
Yeah.
Farmers Branch.
Yes.
You bumped into a diehard.
Yes, I did. They had the community practice at Farmers Branch. It's always cool. Fans getting autographs and seeing people. This is Lud's boy, Andrew Leonard, now diehard.
Look at that shirt.
Rocking the Finnish Mafia shirt. And
That's our trainer.
Yep, your alumni trainer. As Rope Hintz is walking off, and I was going to send you a caption, but I didn't want to complicate your life even more, Ryan. Rope Hintz said, and Rope is a man of very few words. He smiled and said, "Oh, nice shirt."
See?
Has he never seen it before?
I don't think he's seen that one.
You know what we need, Bobby?
Why are we not giving them shirts?
I was just going to say, we need to get Finnish Mafia t-shirts and give them to the Finnish Stars play.
Well, Bobby, you seem to be in all the meetings that I listened to and are part of.
By the way, Bobby Carell off screen right now.
You do a lot of talking during the meetings. It sounds like you have some pull. Don't you think it'd be nice to see?
Did you know you were going to get roasted during our show?
No. Talk about catching strays.
Bobby's like, I should have come 4 minutes later.
Okay, Luds, I want to play one more clip because we're running out of time. We'll save Gulletson on slow starts and playing with instincts. It's a fun conversation, but for later. Here's Glenn Gulletson on the Anaheim Ducks.
I think Anaheim watching them has been tremendous in a lot of aspects. Their PK has been good. They're electric. They're really energetic the way they play. They run the walls hard. Their record is no fluke. This is going to be a very tough game, and I mean everyone's tough in this league, but this is a young team that has a lot of talent mixed in with some really good veteran presence. So it's going to be a good game.
Luds, they made the big change. They fired Greg Cronin after only 2 years at the helm. Pat Verbeek, former Dallas Star, Luds' former teammate, and he hires future Hall of Fame head coach Joel Quenneville. First job since being basically let go by the league and by the Florida Panthers because of the very serious scandals going on with the Chicago Blackhawks. And we don't want to relitigate all that. But what I do want to say is this guy can coach. They are through 12 games. The Ducks are in first in the NHL in goals per game at 3.92. They are a top 5 team in shots per game, averaging over 31 a game. Cutter Gauthier is tied for the NHL lead in goals with 10, and he's second in shots. And this team has won 4 in a row, Luds, and they are on first place in the Pacific, which is, we expected a bump from them, but I don't know if we expected this so soon.
Well, all of that is good, but I will give the majority of the credit to an unsung hero by the name of Pat Verbeek. Beaker has been building this team for years. He's the guy that pulled the trigger on a new coach, which probably wasn't a popular decision in a lot of places because of, what he had to go through in the history of Chicago and all this other kind of stuff. And then he started to add these little pieces, and Leo Carlson. You already talked about Gauthier, Carlson. I got a favorite defenseman, which didn't work out here, Jacob Trouba. He leads that team in plus minus. So there's a lot of pieces here that Beaker went out and got, put together, and the coach, the young players, and then he started adding some pieces. And one of the pieces that probably, and you didn't mention him, is Keith Kreider. And
Chris Kreider.
Chris Kreider. Who's Keith Kreider?
That's a great question. Maybe a relation.
Is it Chris Christopherson and Keith Kreider? No.
Keith Kachuk?
That's it. Kreider, for some reason, got thrown under the bus by his general manager.
Boy, did he.
In New York Rangers. And so there was the whole hailstorm going on around that situation. He comes there now.
So did Trouba.
And, both of them. I mean, they're two leaders. I mean, captains of the team got thrown under the bus. And but Kreider he's got 7 goals, I think it is, and 6 of them, he's standing on top of the goaltender. He has, in his own way, directed traffic for the rest of this group. And, you mentioned Gauthier. I mean, he leads the league in shots per game, but he's got an elite shot. But all these little pieces are adding up, and they're fast.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you this, because
guess who's favored tonight in this game?
It's got to be the Dallas Stars.
180.
Wow.
180.
You don't believe that?
Well, I don't know.
Luds believes they're going to crush these.
Let me ask you this.
I'm just saying this team.
I didn't think about this until you
were
were
They
going
won their
through
last 3 games by 3+ goals.
Kreider and
7-2-1,
Trouba.
I think.
If you told Kreider and Trouba back before the Trouba
Chris
trade,
or Keith?
Chris, that's good. Nice callback. Before the first trade, which was the Trouba trade, and you said you were taking these 2 New York Rangers staples, core members of their team. They're going to both end up with the Anaheim Ducks, and they're in less than 12 months, both in a better situation with a team on the ascendancy versus the New York Rangers, who are very close to going to at least a Stanley Cup final.
The Rangers are now looking for two guys like that.
And they're cratering.
Yeah.
I mean, what an about face. Talk about 180 for the gambling odds. What about a 180-degree turn for both of those players?
Well, I mean, I guess you could say it worked. You know how a lot of times, whether it's general managers, coaches, players, teams, whatever they say, it worked out for both sides.
Yeah.
Not this time.
No.
This one did not. This one backfired on.
All right, let's take a look at the goalie matchups real quick because we are, of course, running out of time. Sam, Lukáš Dostál, this is clearly his team after the summer trade, sending John Gibson to the Rangers. He has been good as advertised. Jake Oettinger gets the net again for the first time since becoming a dad, and you tried to elicit laughter by asking about dad strength to Glenn Gulletson, and he kind of laughed you off.
Yes, they does not have the dad strength yet, but this is his first start. Since that, he had a baby boy named Rhodes Oettinger, him and his wife. So big congratulations.
Congratulations to both.
We'll see how he comes out. The one thing, speaking of Jake, Ryan, I believe it's Ryan Paling is how you pronounce his name.
Yes.
Didn't realize Jake's best friend growing up from Lakeville, Minnesota. They
Pretty
used to play
cool,
together,
isn't it?
played on Team USA and World Junior and all that stuff. So fun matchup to watch tonight for Paling and Oettinger.
Let's take a look at the forwards for the Ducks. Luds, that top group, the young guys, they got rid of Trevor Zegras. It wasn't working, but it's apparently worked very well bringing Gauthier in. They got McTavish signed. It wasn't easy to do that. All of a sudden, Troy Terry's kind of like the old guy on that of the young guys. And then, look, got Alex Killorn there. They added Ross Johnson, who used to play for the Islanders. Vetrano stayed when a lot of people thought he might leave. And this is looking like a pretty good, growing, upstart young team.
Yeah, they're the bottom two, is work there. Actually, Gauthier himself has got more shots than their bottom two lines.
That's incredible.
Because they're all dancing around like
and he
one
had his
shot.
first NHL hat trick the other night.
Yeah, and he doesn't need to be in that high danger area to score goals. He can score from pretty much anywhere. That shot will be on display tonight. I just wonder, will we see Miro Heiskanen be against him all night like he was McDavid? Because Miro, to me, he doesn't have to keep up the same amount of speed tonight, but that stick on puck will be very effective because the kid's got, as you said, 10 goals, and he's leading at the top of the league.
Leo Carlsson was not suspended or fined after he got a 5-minute major in game misconduct for the check to the head of Evan Rodriguez. They deemed it was a penalty, but more or less a unfortunate coming together than a headshot. Unfortunately for the Stars, we won't get to see Mikael Granlund in a Duck uniform tonight. He's injured. Ryan Strome getting close, but he's out, and so is their captain, Radko Gudas. Here's the defense as we wrap up our postgame show tonight. Lacombe is a rising star in this group. So is Drew Hellison.
Gopher.
Olin Zellweger's really good. And then you've got Trouba there. Makings for a team that's pretty good. Luds, I still think there's some holes, but that's okay for where they're at.
Yeah, again, they're a top four. But keep your head up when Trouba's on the ice.
Yeah, this is a good team. This is going to be a good game tonight. I'm excited.
All right. We are going to be out at PNC Plaza. Hopefully you enjoyed the pregame show. Come out and say hi to us. We'll be there.
We're actually there right now.
Yeah.
Right
While
now,
you're watching
we're
this,
there.
we're there. So
hopefully
you
you're
guys are
watching
put the show
it
on your
and you
phone
said,
and walk
hi,
over.
guys. So for Ryan, for Luds, for Sam, I'm Owen, and for Bobby catching straights, we'll see you at the postgame, Stars and Ducks.
Go Keith.
I believe you're going to crush these stars.
We all silly like the mayor.